Well, the Canes won an amazing game tonight and everything. And as much as I can express excitement for the Carolina Hurricanes winning a game to me, the best thing about today's game was John Forsland got to call the game. Okay, you know what? Take the fact that we won, take the fact that for most of the game, Carolina outplayed them tremendously. Take away the fact that we won a playoff preview. You know what? Screw all of that. John Forsland called a Hurricanes game this year. I'm so happy. It should have happened fucking Tuesday, but they gave it to the other guy. But today they gave it to John Forsland, and they did us right as Hurricanes fans. I do not like NBC's broadcast. ESPN cannot come close enough, but you know what? We got John Forsland. So, you know what? That's the best thing about today's game, bar none, is that's hockey, baby. John Forsland was back calling the Canes game, and all is right with the world right now. So, got that level of excitement out of the way because I love John Forsland, voice of my childhood. I think it's a shame that he's not calling Hurricanes games anymore. He's probably the reason why I'm going to be cheering for Seattle when they come into the league, even though I think the expansion rules are bullcrap, especially with Vegas. I'm going to be cheering for Seattle a little bit because John Forsland's calling the game, and then Ron Francis being the GM doesn't hurt also. But on to the game itself, and for me, this highlights a lot of the good thing when Carolina's. This highlights two things. One, when Carolina's on a roll, nothing can stop them. It's just when Carolina has all four lines running and they're booming and they're all skating, they're all forechecking, they're finishing their hits. Very few teams in the league can play with the Hurricanes in that capacity because when they did against Columbus, even in games they lost, when they were playing to their potential and what they can do, they had it. And then this game, when they played as hard as they could against Chicago, Chicago didn't know what to do. So when Carolina gets hot on the ice, there's nothing that can stop it. And even when the games go back and forth, like Carolina, when they're forcing teams to skate with them, no one can stop them. It's just, I mean, seven teams in the league can't really stop them. Now, when it comes to what this also highlights is Carolina has a hard time, defending the lead. They failed to defend the lead again. So I think they failed to defend it twice. So yeah, like that's the main thing. I've been saying it all year. Like if you want to take a shot every time I say Canes need to defend a lead, you can, but it's a repeated highlight of an issue for the Hurricanes, so I'm going to keep talking about it. I'd love to shut up about defending a lead, but Carolina has a hard time defending the lead. And they got a great win today, don't get me wrong. 28 seconds left, scoring a goal, hallelujah. I'll take games like that all day, but I'd rather Carolina be playing tied games or tying the game after being down by one goal if they're going to score a game winning goal with 28 seconds left. So, like but it's a great hockey game from a fan perspective. I'm just a fan watching the game, but if I'm just looking at the Hurricanes as a whole, and I'd watch the Canes play the trap to win the cup all year, all day. I mean, they can't. They would not do well playing the trap. That's what's great about Carolina. They're built on defense, yet they're like puck moving defensemen. That's what they're built on. They're built on defensemen who can move the puck up. And you know what? Since I spent a long time trashing, speaking of puck moving defensemen, since I spent a long time trashing NBC the past two broadcasts, I'm going to give it where it's due. Pierre Maguire bringing up Jacob Slavin for the Lady Ping in his usual cringy way was great. Like, he's right. Jacob Slavin should be nominated for the Lady Ping. I think he should be a Norris contender. I think there should honestly also be a trophy for the defenseman that best exemplifies the defensive qualities. And if there isn't one, please, and if there is one, and I'm drawing a blank, please comment down below and correct me. Call me a stupid idiot. Comment down below if I'm wrong. But I think that should be a trophy. Call it the what's the guy's name that was named top 50 defenseman? But name it after that guy, who I don't know his name, but the Lidstrom Award. There we go. Name it after Nicholas Lidstrom. Create the Lidstrom Award. So I think that should be a reward as well because there are many defensemen in the league who are underrated. Ethan Bear comes to mind, Jacob Slavin. who I think should get their credit in hardware if they're a defenseman that is just amazing at stopping other people from scoring. So take that with what you will. On to the game, and this tying back into the game. Carolina doesn't really, other than the fact that Carolina can't defend the lead, the other thing Carolina needs to work on is playing the full 60 minutes. I don't know if that's just because I watched the game and I watched to see who's struggling and who's doing well, but and one good thing is there's not a player to me that ever stands out as consistently not playing to their potential or consistently playing to their potential. If one guy's not playing well, it's the team. If one guy is playing well, it's the whole team's flying. So it's not just one player. I think there are a few times where Seabass or Jordan Stahl or even Vincent Trocheck this year will step up. It's great to see Vincent Trocheck back in the lineup. Hopefully Teravainen and Mrazek are soon to follow. Speaking of Vincent Trocheck, should have brought that up earlier, but I didn't. But it's like it's kind of weird. Like when the whole team's when there's never just one line that's struggling or one player. It always seems to be the whole team or the whole team's flying. And that as good as it is bad. It's almost a catch-22 because when Carolina struggles in games, they struggle. They had like all of their goals, with the exception of one, that breakaway pass. I don't even think Jake Bean was caught on a bad line change. To me, the Jake Bean goal where Pierre Maguire called him out for making a bad line change. For me, that goal was personally more about Chicago taking advantage of the long shift than it was Carolina. But the other two goals were defensive breakdowns. So Carolina's got to get better in their D zone again. It's great that there's no new issues popping up, actually. I think the fact that I'm repeating the same things for Carolina to work on, as frustrating as it may feel like, is a good thing because it means they're not creating any new holes for themselves. They're just having a hard time building on what they already have. They're not giving up one aspect of their game to create another. They're building on what they have. And to me, they've gotten better at doing when it comes to the defensive breakdowns. I feel like they do it less and less, but this was a hard-fought game. I think Chicago came out to play pretty well tonight. I think Chicago actually came out to play this game, and we still beat them. Like a team came out ready to play, maybe more than we were, and we were able to get a win. And not only were we able to get the win, we still managed to outplay a team ready to play for most of the game because we also came ready to play. Both teams came ready to play. Both teams had good games, and Carolina came out on top. Tonight, this was a clear example of the better team winning. That's my thoughts on the game. Almost forgot Hurricane of the game. I can't forget Hurricane of the game. Come on, Jonathan. Now, who would I give Hurricane of the game to? He's gotten a lot of heat lately, but tonight I think he stepped up, had a 2-point night. I'll give it to Fogs. He played a solid game today. I don't think he's won it before, and I do like Warren Fogle. I mean, elbowing when there's no need to be elbowing aside. I genuinely like what Warren Fogle brings to the lineup, so to see him get a goal and an assist in a pretty big game, very nice. And I'll see you guys for the next Hurricanes game, hopefully back to the regional broadcasts because I'll take regional over NBC any day. Thank you. See you guys then.